Let's make this a little bit easier. Yeah. Well, how's everybody doing? Yo, yo, yo. Making some adjustments, putting it on the page so everyone can find it. Hopefully the mic sounds okay. Let me know if it doesn't. There we go. Crap. There we go. Should be good. How is everybody doing? Let's put a goal. Fight recap. What's up? Proudest fight IQ sold him the fight. Yeah, it's hard because I still think Prates has all of the tools to beat him. I just think, for one, I think he kind of, for one, obviously he didn't let his hands go, but I just think he thought that the shot would always be there. And I thought as he was trying to make the reads, Gary was already building and taking rounds. And the fight just kind of got away from him. So I thought Gary looked really good in the first 3 rounds. I heard people say that Gary was not hurt in the 5th round. That's an absolute that's ridiculous. He was definitely hurt in that 3rd round. But again, you can't take anything away from him from the first 3 rounds. He looked really, really good. That's all you can ask. I mean, that's it. He looked really good. So, and Prates, like I said, he didn't necessarily look like he was outgunned or anything like that. He just kind of looked like he was waiting, and you can't wait. You can't wait like that. Hopefully you are doing well, Fight Recap. It's good to see you. Good to see you. There we go. Yeah, that choice that he had made in that fight kind of surprised me, to be honest. Kind of surprised me. Exactly how I feel as well. He can beat a guy like Gary. If maybe he had a full training camp focused on Gary, he could have got it. Remember, he was preparing for Neil a few weeks ago. You're correct. You're correct, he was. Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim, which is also something that people are not talking about. Yeah. Randy Brown, Gabriel Bonfim, I like it. I like it. I think he deserves a better fight than that, but that's not an awful fight either. It's not what I'd be crazy mad about. Again, I don't think Bonfim is ranked. It didn't Gabriel Bonfim just lose to... No, that's Ishmael. Interesting. Brown versus Burns versus Morales loser. I think Brown should fight the winner. Because I think if Burns loses, he's going to retire. I don't think he sticks around. Unless he's winning. I don't think he sticks around. And that's a tough one because I think a few years ago, if you look at that fight, Burns has every skill in the world to beat a guy like Morales. I just think he's going to make some mental errors and put himself in a position to get caught. And I think he loses that one. That's an interesting one because I could see where Burns stifles Morales and beats him. But appreciate you guys being here. How you doing, Colostrum? Like I said, it was weird from Prates. He was just shelling up the whole time. I don't understand. He would. I've never seen a guy pressure as much as Prates and be down 3-0 going into the fourth. I mean, he was on the, Gary was on the back foot the whole fight. It was crazy. Prates versus MVP, Gary versus Bilal JDM winner. That's not bad. Prates MVPs. That's a tough fight for Prates because of that blitzing style of MVP. No. The fuck would you do that for? Or Gary versus winner of Usman Buckley. I think Gary winner of Usman Buckley. Title eliminator. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a winnable fight for Usman. I think that's a winnable fight. There's also somebody was saying that Gary destroys Buckley. I personally don't think so because he puts himself, even if he's down, I think he still puts himself in better position than Prates. Like Prates, every time he was getting hit, he would have pressure. It seemed like Gary was able to cut just enough angle for Prates to be out of the way, or for Prates to be too far out of range to catch on Gary. For some reason, it feels like Buckley, every time he's pressuring and someone's trying to cut that corner, Buckley's still in position to connect. It seems weird to me. BMW or Mercedes? I'm going to say BMW. When Prates watches that fight back, he's going to be mad he fumbled that finish in the round 5. Absolutely. Again, somebody was saying that Gary was not hurt in that 5th round. Okay. Gary Brady, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think the only guys beating Buckley right now is Shavkat and JDM. Agreed. Agreed. Yes, agreed. Yeah. Bro, I forgot about Brady. Yeah. Yeah. I still don't know if Brady beats Buckley. I think he would have to absorb some punishment before that. Also, there's been a lot of people giving credit to Anthony Smith. Excuse me? What? What are we talking about here? I mean, think about it. Jim Miller is 4 years older, 5 years, technically. He'll be 5 years older than Anthony Smith, and he's winning. Yes, obviously he didn't win his last one, but he's still positive. Anthony Smith is not a legend. I'm confused. Brady versus Gary, title eliminator then? Yeah, I like that. Buckley versus Gary, that's a good one. That's where my money would be. Buckley will have to fight someone like the loser of the main event of 315 to get the shot. Oh, is that Bilal and JDM? Well, John and Aspen will be a thing. What's your thoughts on this? It absolutely would be a thing. I think International Fight Week, it'll be announced. I don't know if they'll fight for International Fight Week, but it will be announced. And I think the fight's always been, we're going. Always. Absolutely. I always thought this fight was going to happen. And I can't wait for it to happen. Who you with? John. And this is not me dissing Aspinall. It's not because I don't like Aspinall. I, frankly, 100% honest with it, I haven't seen enough. Is he a good striker? Yes. Is he fast? Yes. Is he powerful? Yes. We've seen zero wrestling with him. We haven't seen anything. Yes, we've seen him take down Volkov, who didn't even try to defend the takedown. You know. I told you about Ikram, man. People wrote him off because of the Rob KO. I didn't write him off because of the Rob KO, because it's Robert Whittaker. You know. I didn't think it was going to be as easy as I thought people were saying Ikram was going to make it out to be. And I think that got to me a little bit because I think Muniz is much tougher than I guess I was even giving him credit for. The shot that Ikram hit him with was the laziest left hook I've ever seen in my life. It was weird. I just don't know. I don't know, because on paper, I guess it's weird. If you watch the fights that Muniz has been in, he's fought really good competition. Muniz really hasn't, especially in the UFC, especially, and that's taking the Robert Whitaker fight out of there because he's in a league of his own. Remember, Ikram versus Imavov was on UFC 294. Crazy looking at it now. Yeah, I agree. Imavov would have fucked him up. At the time, who do you think would have won? Imavov. And honestly, I don't know if I would have said Imavov at the time because I wasn't sold on Imavov yet, to be honest. Yo, Big Ink, what's going on, buddy? Man, that card was amazing. It was awesome. Abu Onama Zhang heading to the rankings. Yes. Abu looked good. Michelle Pereira looked like shit. I couldn't believe he fought like that. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Good guess. I think so. More hurry and aggression. Does Aspinall carries? Do what? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, he hurt Andrzej Lovsky and couldn't get him out of there, and then had to beat him in the third round, I believe it was. There's so many questions about that for Aspinall, because what if John goes in there and he dominates him? Even if he doesn't get Aspinall out of there, what if he goes in there and he absolutely mollywops him? Wrestles him, beats him up, tires him out, pounds him out, not finishes him, but just beats the crap out of him. Then you're gonna be like, oh, well, I guess we didn't really know. He hadn't fought anybody in the UFC. I was like, yeah, no shit. That's what I'm saying. Have Aspinall fight people like Almeida, fight people like Gane. I just don't understand it. One thing I noticed about Michelle, he KOs cans, but when he gets to the main spotlight, he always loses. That is true. That is true. Imavov was coming off the weird no contest with Chris Curtis, and Ikram was coming off the KO of Phil Hawes. Yeah, I for surely would have picked Ikram to win that fight. I was not sold on Imavov yet. And honestly, I don't know if that version beats Ikram. So I'm curious. I'm very curious about that fight. Good call out there, Fight Recap. If Aspinall doesn't get the KO in the first, he's in trouble. Yeah. Jones got technical warfare, mind games. Yep. That's this whole long, drawn-out process. When the fight was always going to happen, that's what all of this is. It's just mind games. And not necessarily on John. Is he playing into it a little bit now? Sure. They should just feed Michelle to Ikram. Yeah, that version of Michelle gets destroyed by Ikram. And I'm still not sold on Ikram. Ikram did not look great against Andre Muniz. John don't want it. It's happening. So, he wants it. I promise you, he wants it. As soon as people started saying that he was ducking Tom, he wants it. He wants it. John's way too competitive. Way too competitive. The way Muniz went down was strange. Oh, dude, it was weird. It was like that shot that Piper hit GM3 with. It's like, what the fuck is that? Shama. Topuria versus Islam, who would outstand if it happens? I think Islam wins, but Topuria has the possibility of winning because he's a good boxer. He has good scrambles. He has good submissions. I think Islam is a better technical striker. He's more well-rounded. Yeah, I like Islam. And John's my GOAT, but you have to look at it objectively. There's nothing to look at it objectively. John Jones is fighting Tom Aspinall. They're waiting to announce the fight. That's all it is. It is happening. Vallejos versus Nate the Train. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Nate the Train should get destroyed in that fight. How good do you think the Randy Brown will be after the amazing KO? Well, if anybody watched my video breaking down that fight, that's what I called. I didn't call Brown getting hurt, but he typically does. or at least like flash knockdown or whatever. But I picked Brandon Brown by knockout. I was very upfront and clear about that. I picked Brown by knockout, so I was not surprised when he finished Dalby. Did I see what Chael said? Yeah, both times, because he said multiple things. I don't like this version of Chael. I don't like it. Troy beat the shit out of Nate. Yes, he did. Ilya has good hands, but Islam progresses. He's getting better day by day, I guess. Yeah, Ilya has good hands, good power. I just think Islam kind of puts it together a little bit better. Nate beating Onama is such a good win. Yeah, especially in the way he did it. Especially in the way he did it. I still can't believe Onama didn't get finished in that fight. With how tired he was, how in the world did he go 15 minutes? Yeah, a lot of people had Brown by decision. You were one of the few that had him by KO. As soon as I seen that fight be announced, like I like Brown by knockout, because of his style. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, especially how he moves forward and how Salikov moved forward. And I picked Salikov in that fight. Maybe a bad take, but I liked Salikov in there. Brown's chin's a little questionable. Seeing that, I was like, ooh, Dalby's fighting him? Ugh, I like Brown. Yeah. Onama versus Emmett next. I think that's a little bit of a step up. I mean, that seems a little crazy to me. A little jump up there, Brown's finally coming into his own. Yeah. Yeah, you're not kidding, man. That boy had to go through the ringer, huh? Holy shit. He had to go into it, didn't he? Jesus. The fact that the Muslim is still doing good after that KO to Randy is insane. Yeah, I agree. Also, he won a weird decision against us, Ponzinibbio, I believe it was. I thought Muslim clearly won that fight. John needs to get on the juice to beat Tom. Just saying. I 100% disagree. Low key, I could see it. Emmett doesn't have a lot of time left and most likely not make another run. I like the fight Onama versus Josh. I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying. The problem is because he has a big name because of the knockouts he does have. If they put him against a fringe guy, if he had a big highlight reel against Onama, they're pushing him for a title eliminator. That's because that's the way he fights. If he wins, it's going to be impressive. He's getting pushed. So he's in a very weird spot. Also, I don't know what his game plan was with Lerone Murphy. I don't understand it. I knew Prates would lose. Ian Gary got a really high fight IQ. People just hate on him for his cringe personality. Yeah, I wasn't hating on him for his personality. I just thought he would try to grapple a little bit more, and I also didn't expect, I don't know how anybody could have expected Prates to shell up like he did every time Gary threw out a feint. It didn't really make sense to me. Shell up a done. When you shell up, you're susceptible for a combination. And that shit adds up and adds up and adds up and adds up. If you see, he wasn't crazy accurate. At one point, he was 200 thrown and 84 landed. That's what I remember. So he wasn't necessarily crazy accurate, but at the volume, he won rounds. It was clear. I'm not sure if Emmett beats Onama, to be honest. I would have agreed with you before the Giga fight, but Giga was able to hurt Onama. And if Emmett can land what Giga landed, Emmett has more power. I would probably say Emmett would beat Onama if Onama's striking defense isn't fixed. Because you can't take many shots from him. Could see UFC give it Onama to Ige. Ooh. That's a great poll bit, Ink. That's a big one. Ian Gary is a good scorecard fighter, yep, and knows how to nullify dangerous fighters. He also likes to get... I don't really care what he likes. That doesn't really mean anything to me. So, but yeah, he's good. He's good. Gary has a clear path to the title. See, I disagree. I don't think he has a clear path. losing to Shavkat in pretty dominating fashion, 4-1, I guess 3-2, but not really. I don't think he has a clear path, to be honest. I guess if Shavkat wins, you still have to win one more to fight him. They're not gonna be like, all right, Gary. That seems weird. I don't know. You got Corey Sandhagen or Figgy. I probably have Figgy, but my prediction breakdown video and all that stuff will be out here in a couple days. Mom says Corey. Okay. I'm okay. I think Figgy has really, really good power, and he's much better on the ground. I think Sandhagen has good control, but I think Figgy, especially losing the way he did against Petr Yan, I like Figgy being at a loss fighting Corey Sandhagen. You got to put Brady in the title shot conversation as well. Yep. That's why I said I don't think Gary, he's in a weird spot right now. Weird spot. Onama Mitchell. Ooh, you know what? You can do Onama Silva. Absolutely. Master, that's a stupid thing to say, buddy. Buckley or Marty Fake Newsman? Marty Fake Newsman. Europe is a part of Turkey? I don't care. Again, if you guys can, please slap that like button. It helps the streams so much. So much. I would appreciate it. No way Marty is done. Okay, Cater versus Steve Garcia. I like that. I think Garcia lights him up like a Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Am I wrong for thinking Onama should have lost? Yes. I thought Giga won round 1 and outstruck him in round 3 for 3 minutes before getting taken down. Onama didn't do much on the ground. I didn't think it was a clear winner in that third round for the couple minutes they were up on the feet. I thought Giga was doing well, but then he was controlled on the ground with some good ground and pound by Onama in the third round. I thought Onama stole the third. But again, I thought Onama was clearly winning that first until he was hurt. I believe. But no, I thought Onama clearly won 2-1. Close fight for sure. What's your thoughts on that? I'm not being political. That's stupid. And Buckley's on a roll. He is, but don't count on Marty. Bro, there's only 35 active light heavyweights on the roster. 35? Wow. That seems crazy. Let's be honest. That seems crazy. 35? Ooh. Whew. Wow. Light heavyweight. My brain is just not registering that it's light heavyweight, not heavyweight. That's nuts. That's nuts. Wow. Because, okay, Master, I don't care. We're not talking about politics. You can either stop or you'll just get timed out. They need to start bringing more LFA and PFL guys that like heavyweight in the UFC. Flyweight has 45. Holy shit. Jesus. Drastic. And there's so many really good ones. And heavyweight has 32. Jesus. And you got to think there's top 15. Wow. I'm blown away, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. LFA's weird. PFL's fucking weird. Like, I like Nemkov. I don't know. There's some guys that I like, but I don't know. I don't trust PFL to save my life. Unless it's like Dakota DeChevia or whatever her name is. I think she could be really, really good in the UFC. It's also a totally different, talent pool over there. So, DDP. I think DDP beats him up. PFL has lost me the most money betting on favorites. It's very weird. You should never bet on PFL. The matchmaking is weird. The commentating is dog shit. I don't know how Kenny Florian is so bad, but he's so good when he did it for the UFC. It makes no sense to me. It's like Dan Hardy. I love Dan Hardy. He's awful. He's like asking weird, silly questions. He's all like cringy. I don't know. Dog shit. Yeah. What's up, Lolita? How you doing, buddy? Man, oh man. They have to pretend they're watching high-level fights. That's probably why. I guess Kevin O'Connell's also terrible. Terrible. He's a decent fighter. Nothing crazy, but he's fun. Why do I look like Masvidal? I don't know. I think that's a compliment. Wow. How do you think DDP wins? By smash. No, I think it's the same thing that Usman did, but it'll be 5 rounds. I think he'll have a little bit of a harder time in the first round. I don't think Khamzat's going to bully DDP. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I fully believe he will out-wrestle Chimaev as the fight goes. Not early, but as the fight goes. And I think he'll get him to quit. Ground and pound. Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. Lolita. Yes. Yes. Viva Mexico, Pearl. Okay. Fantastic. I think DDP gets mauled for a round and starts piecing up Khamzat, and Khamzat doesn't get a quick sub. Correct. But again, I don't think Khamzat's going to maul DDP in that first. So, Raw Dog, you're weird. You're weird. What a weird thing to say. Jesus. I think Khamzat wins that first, but I don't think he mauls DDP to get it. I think he's going to be surprised. Khamzat destroys DDP. Okay. Come back and be better next time. I think he can easily take DDP down when they're both fresh, but needs a quick submission. I don't think it's going to be easy. DDP is a big boy. Not at all, says. Not at all. Oh, Jesus. Not even close. Yeah, and again, some really awesome fights on that card. Here, let's look at it real quick. Let's look. We'll see when it happens. I just hope it's soon. Oh, it's going to be soon. Oh, it'll be soon. Phil Davis is fighting soon as well. That seems crazy to me. Let's see. Why is it not? That's not correct. Oh, here we go. They got Poirier and Max as a pick'em on the lines right now. I like that. I mean, that seems about correct for me. 59.2% correct. Yes. Yes. All right. Let's see. The Smith fight was an absolute disgrace. Yeah, absolute disgrace. Yeah, I thought they'd have Dustin as a slight favorite though. I thought Max won that second fight, so I'm not surprised they don't have it. I'm not surprised it's closer in the odds. Duplessis has no wife or children. Shemaev does. Duplessis has said on multiple occasions he is not afraid to die. That's crazy. The main event, I thought it was good. I thought Carlos seemed to bite on every feint. Remember, Fight Recap actually brought this up that he was supposed to fight Jeff Neal. Way different styles. They're going to exchange a ton, which in the instances of thinking about it now, with Prates biting on all the feints, but Gary's not there to be returned on, and Prates being out of position to try to land on him, maybe that would make sense a little bit more. That Neil doesn't have necessarily that footwork that Prates would be able to land on him eventually. So, yeah, I thought Gary did a really good job in the first 3 rounds to be able to get him to bite, put combinations out there, not let Prates get close to him. I thought Prates looked good in the 4th and the 5th round. Had his moments in the first 3. Clearly lost him, though. But I thought he hurt him real bad in the 5th round and kind of fumbled in the last, 15 seconds or whatever it was. What about round 5? Yeah, I think another minute and Prates probably gets him out of there. It was close. I thought Prates was going to finish Gary at the end. There was a moment where Gary wasn't even moving, just eating ground and pound. Yeah, he was hurt. Someone said he wasn't hurt. That's nuts to me. Khabib versus McGregor rematch, who wins? I don't care. I thought Gary did a very good job not wasting movement, striking. Yep. And like I said, if this is me and this is another guy, and every time this guy acts like he's gonna go, and I bite, this guy can just do a combination, and he can just land a ton. He wasn't crazy accurate. It was a shitload of volume though, So the rounds got away from Prates. Prates couldn't find the shot, even though someone did make a good point that possibly that 5th round should have been a 10-8 because he hurt him so bad. I don't know if it should have been a 10-8. I didn't feel it in the moment for sure. For sure. Yeah, I thought the prelims were really, really good this week. Yeah, obviously Brown knocking out Dalby. Not surprised. No 10-8. Yeah. Prates will learn from this, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Elder Young. Yeah, I thought Elder won. I thought Gage Young looked timid, but did show promise as the fight went on. That was a good fight. I liked that fight. Schnell Flick turned out to be unbelievable. Literally looked unbelievable. I thought Flick was in firm control. Couldn't believe he was taking down Matt Schnell the way he was. And then he got reversed, and the whole fight changed in that 2nd round. It was crazy to me. Got busted open and everything. It should not have been a split. Crazy. I felt bad for Anthony Smith. Not me. And then he was flicking somebody off in the crowd. Grow up. Jesus. You looked like dog shit in this fight, so you're gonna act like you're gonna fight someone in the crowd? Come on. John Castaneda, Chris Gutierrez. I thought Castaneda looked good. Didn't let his hands go. Let Gutierrez make the fight closer than it should have been. Oh, that's the fight work. I thought Castaneda was winning the first and got dropped at the end. Yeah. Smith needed to retire a long time ago. Yep. And he didn't. Yeah. What are you going to do? I thought Damon Blackshear also looked really, really good. He seems to quit when hurt. I don't know why he's called Lionheart. I agree. I thought early in that fight, I thought he looked pretty good. And then, bad. Really bad. Oh, and then obviously the Malcolm Wellmaker fight against Cameron Simon. People giving me a lot of shit that I picked Simon. I thought Simon looked good early and then tried to blitz for some reason. Like he didn't learn from the Peyton Talbot fight. I don't understand it. And he gets finished. I don't understand it. Crazy to me. I picked Cameron. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of openings in Wallmaker. Again, beautiful shot. Beautiful shot by Wallmaker to find counter. But yeah, I took Malcolm not knowing his skill set. Someone told me he was a way slicker with power. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's Peyton Talbot-esque striking, maybe a little bit more power, like one-shot power. But again, I thought because Simon just lost to Talbot in the way that he did, I thought he would be poised and calm and good head movement. He started out that way, and then he blitzed. It just didn't make any sense to me. Made no sense to me. Polyana Viana looked like absolute dog shit. Timmy Kawamba looked awesome. Maybe a little bit of an early stoppage, but Romero was really, really hurt in that fight by that flying knee. Really hurt. You could tell because he couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. And then when the referee grabbed Kawamba and stopped the fight, then he got up because no one was hitting him. So, it's still Prates gang. 100%. Learn and grow. After having a year off, I thought Cameron would do better. He started the fight very well. Good volume, good head movement, and then blitzes in like a psychopath. And thank the Lord, Jocelyn Edwards finished Chelsea Chandler and gets her ass out of the UFC. See ya. Would you take Gene Silva or Topuria if Topuria was still at featherweight? What? I would take Topuria. He probably crushes Gene Silva. Polyana was paired with Amorim to make Amorim look good. Yeah, only thing that makes sense. His stock stays the same after that fifth round. Almost had Gary out. Correct. It's not like he got like outclassed. He just didn't have a lot of output. Gary did. Carlos didn't. And you see when Carlos let his hands go, he hurts Gary. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Edwards looked good. Yeah. The last two fights, I believe it was, when she's came in like aggressive, she's looked good. Yeah, Tamir's Vidal, she finished her. She looked really aggressive in that fight, and then Chandler won. So yeah, she looked good. You don't think Gene Silva would have a decent chance? No. Her technique, her level, if fitness, Edwards looked good. Yeah, she looked good. She's looked good in her last couple. Again, not great competition, but you beat cans. You beat cans to get to better competition. So, Gary got more punches in the little Prates but the little Prates did to Gary did way more damage. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. But again, first 3 rounds, Gary looked good. He looked slick. He knew he needed to move his feet, and he did. So good job on him. I mean, you can't take that away from him. His movement looked good. He didn't stay in the same place for Prates to make that read. Edwards beat the can convincingly. Oh, thank God she did, too. When I seen she cracked Chandler, I was like, oh, baby. And we had 3 finishes again. 4 finishes to start the fight card out. Yeah, 4. Holy crap. And then 3 straight decisions. Oh, 4 straight decisions. Oh, my goodness. 4, and then 2 finishes, and then 2 decisions, and then a finish and decision. Wow. Yeah, Gary with the range distance was impeccable. Yep. Don't like him, but he's good at keeping range. Yep. That's what I said in my breakdown. If Prates can't break that range, he's never going to be able to beat Gary. He has to cross that range. And then he couldn't cross it. And yeah. Prates has a weird body. Yeah, it's almost like that Sean Woodson body. And like I said, anytime Gary is in kicking distance, it's gonna be a hard night at the office because I mean, even if he can't finish you with the kick, he's gonna keep you at distance with the kicks. He's very good at that. Very good at it. The thing that really surprised me early on was even when Prates was trying to throw, I was surprised he wasn't going to the body just to maybe get Gary to think about the body so that Prates could set up the headshot. There really wasn't combinations like against the cage when Prates had him in the tie clinch. So a little bit of a weird missed opportunities, I would say. What do you think about the matchup with Prates versus MVP? I think Prates would be in trouble because of the blitzing of MVP. Because MVP is such a great distance artist. I think Prates would have a hard time. Prates usually throws more kicks than that. Yeah, I agree. Prates had good takedown defense. Yep. I wonder maybe if that's why he wasn't throwing kicks, which also took away his striking. I mean, it seemed like because he didn't have the distance with the kicks, it seemed like his hands were off. So weird. Do you think Gary can beat Bilal? No. Prates versus MVP sounds boring as fuck. It's either would be really boring or really fucking awesome. MVP was piecing up Gary low-key. Yep, people don't talk about it. Hope you're doing well, Juice Man. Good to see you, buddy. Benjamin, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Prates would KO MVP. Really? Over 5 rounds, but a 3-rounder favors MVP. Okay. Can you crip walk? That's stupid. Let us see some shadow boxing, bro. No. What? No. Smoke a fart? That's weird. No. I think MVP wins versus Prates. So do I. Even if Prates beat Gary, I think MVP beats him. I thought MVP versus Gary should have been a draw. Why not with the shadow boxing? Because I'm talking about fights. Come on. Oh, also, big shout out to Chris Eubanks Jr. Looked really good against Connor Ben. So good job for him. That's a good win. I like that. Joe Bananas, you are a weird one. You are a weird one. Also, they had Chelsea Chandler's ranked at 14. Who in the world is ranking Chandler at 14? Taking that Timofo versus and Corey Sandhagen parlay. Okay. My pick is not on Corey, but we'll see. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Adrian Yanez. I like that fight. I'm cool with that. Let's see if Yanez has anything in the tank. Let's see. Bet on Chandler. He has his own children now. All not, adopted. Prates should fight the winner of Holland versus Luque. I 100% agree. Who do you think Petr Yan should fight next? I think he's fighting Marcus McGee. I love your beard. Appreciate you. I think he's fighting Marcus McGee. I think that's his next fight. Weird. Colostrum, Jacqueline Amorium versus Angela Hill. I love it. Decent takedown defense by Hill. Yeah, I like Angela Hill, Amorim. He's fighting Umar. Really? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, buddy? Yan is fighting Marcus. That's what I heard. Petr Yan easily wins. I wouldn't say easily, but I heavily favor Petr Yan. Heavily. Where is Petr Yan? Training. Easily, no. I don't think he wins easy. Amorim versus Hill, I like that. Yeah, me too. Me too. I love Petr Yan striking. Yep. Marcus struggled with late kicks on his last fight, so I think Petr Yan's going to test that. Now he's not fighting Umar because Umar isn't returning until later this year. Interested to see what a matchup he gets when he comes back. I'm hearing Yan is fighting Umar next. I'm not. I'm hearing Yan is fighting Marcus McGee. Sounds like my guy, but McGee. Yeah. Sorry. Ugh, shit. But I do appreciate you guys being here. Slap that like button if you haven't already. Yan versus Umar, that's a fun fight. Umar is still recovering from the hand surgery. Yeah, I don't want him to rush that. Again, hot take. I thought Umar beat Merab 3-2. I know it's a hot take, but I thought he won. Close. I have no real argument, but I did think he won. I disagree. I think Sean can. People forget that Sean hurt Petr Yan. Yeah. Maybe you should go to sleep, my man. Me? Nah, I got about 14 minutes left. Yes, 13 minutes left. Yeah, probably only Sean. Yeah, I think so. I thought Figgy would have more to offer for Yan, but I don't think so. Obviously, in that fight, no. I'd watch Prates versus Wonderboy, just saying. I think, again, a few years ago, I thought Wonderboy looked good against Joaquin Buckley. So I think a younger version of Wonderboy, maybe not like debut version, but I think a prime version of Wonderboy beats Buckley. And I also think a couple years ago version of Wonderboy beats Prates. I don't think this one would, just because I don't really know how his chin would be. I don't know how he would react to late shots. So I'd watch it, but yeah. That'd be one where I think Prates is going to win, but I want Wonderboy. Montel versus Daniel, who do I have? Of course, I'll have a breakdown on this fight, but I like Montel. Prime Wonderboy beats Ian Gary, too. Oh, Prime Wonderboy smokes Ian Gary. I bet on Prates when he got to plus 150 right before. I mean, yeah. Gary did incredible with his distance control, which something we talked about in the breakdown. So it wasn't out of my mind. I just thought Prates would fire, and he didn't. So yeah, I'm curious to see how Montel fights Daniel. Very curious. JDM might pull out, and we get Gary versus Bilal. It's not a crazy exciting fight. I would be happy for Gary to get a win, get the title. I'm fine with that. It doesn't upset me at all. I don't hate Gary at all. People always think that when you pick a fighter to win, you hate the other guy, and it's not like that. I'm just talking about matchups. That's what we do around here. Gary has a path versus Bilal. Yes, he does. His patience, I think, actually would do him justice in that fight with Bilal. Buckley smashes Usman. I don't think so. Feel like it was a big jump competition for Prates too quick. I don't think so. Because you see what Prates was able to do in the fifth. He just needed it a little bit earlier. If he does that in the third round, I thought he won the fourth round. So, I mean, that's 2-2 going in the fifth. And who the hell knows? how that 5th round goes. How do you think GDM takedown defense looks against Bilal? Great. Does he get taken down? Yes. Bilal is very good at getting takedowns. But I think JDM's takedown defense will help hold up. Watch out for Jacob Smith at 170. Agreed. How will JDM do against Bilal? Very well. Sean Brady beat Shavkat? No. 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 He has the skills, just not the experience with a high-level fighter like Ian Gary. You're correct. Correct. Ooh, shit. Yeah, absolutely correct. Val versus Manon. Who do I have? Val. I think Manon has opportunities if she can have combinations in her fights. I think the problem with that is, for one, for Manon to win, she has to win. Val misses or overthrows. Manon Farhat has to make her pay. She can't just let her reset and get back to work. For Val, she has to make Manon overcommit with her pressure to where she can get a hold of her and not overcommit herself. And I think she can win the fight. What should International Fight Week main event go? What is it going to be? I think it could be Jones versus Aspinall, but I also think it's probably Pereira Magomedov 2. You got Taporia or Islam? Islam. Anthony Smith was so bloody in front of his wife and family, so sad. Yeah, I really wasn't sad. What is Zhang's ceiling? Well, we don't really know because he hasn't fought anybody. There's not really, because at some point he's going to start fighting grapplers. We have no idea how he does against grapplers. None. So I don't really know what his ceiling is, to be honest. I don't know. Good question. Good question. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Did I not? I didn't. Who should Anama fight next? Honestly, you could do Allen. Somebody was saying Josh Emmett, which that's an alright matchup. I'd love to see him fight Alex Caceres. The fight would be awesome. Do Ho Choi. Because he just fought Nate Landwehr. Zalal versus Gene Silva. I love that fight. Who should Wellmaker fight at UFC Atlanta? He just fought Simon. Let's do... Shit, I'd say Hani Barcelos because Talbot just fought him. And Talbot's in Simon's division. Let's do... I guess I'm going to say Hani Barcelos. Ugh. Gene Matsumoto versus Wellmaker. Matsumoto is well above Wellmaker right now. Yanez is a good one. Versus Yuri. Zhang, we haven't seen anything. He can't fight Yuri. Come on. I mean, great fight. Fun fight. But how does he get that fight? How? Gene Matsumoto just fought Rob Font. So, no. Zane called out Yuri too. Yeah, he did. Yuri versus Ankalaev. Who do you have? Yuri can make that fight fun because of his activity. Ankalaev's power might be a little bit too much in that fight. Still rooting for Gene versus Aljo. Interesting. Again, I thought Aljo beat Mavzar. So, there's that. Gene KO's Allen. Oh. Oh. I like it. I like it. I like Gene State on defense. Yeah, absolutely. Still rooting for Gene Silva versus Aljo. I think I said that. My bad. Abu is ranked now. Abu versus Costa Kopilov winner. Yes. Yes. Sam, I think if Gene beats Aljo, it's his biggest win in establishing him over a future champ, a former champ. I agree. I agree. Cardio issues? Yes, he does. He seemed a little bit better in this fight, but again, Pereira wasn't fighting. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't see Bo Nickel finishing RDR at all. Me neither. Me neither. And also, RDR striking is not great, but when he hits people, they go down. Something was off with Pereira. Absolutely, yes. Bo Nickel might lose too. I think so. My prediction stuff's not out yet, but I think so. Yeah, I don't think Bo's as good as everybody says he is. Yeah, another one. Another one pay-per-view. WSP. Okay, Eric. Jacqueline versus Loopy, who would you pick? Ooh. I'm going to say Jacqueline. Jacqueline. A Moore versus Sam Hughes rematch. You could do that. You could do that. It's not bad. I don't hate that at all. Bow. Black Shirt versus Wallmaker. That's not a bad one. Different weight classes, I think. Paddy Pimblett versus Gaethje. Who would you pick? Pimblett. Because his grappling is still good enough, I think. I think grapplers are Gaethje's weak spot. I love Black Shirt versus Wallmaker fight. Yeah. That's a fun fight. That's a fun fight. There's Sultan versus Marco Tulio. Interesting. Yo, Primetime, what's up, buddy? Actually, do you like Abu versus Ikram better? No. You think Paddy would have a chance against Islam? Sure. His grappling's pretty good. Give him that. Marco Tulio versus anyone, please. Tulio versus RoboCop would be bananas. Yeah, that fight would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shit. Tulio has been out, just had surgery. He's out for a while. Well, there we go. Oh, yeah. That guy was crazy excited against Gore. Wonder where Hermanson fits into 185 at the moment. I agree. Hermanson's been very inactive. Marco Tulio versus MVP? No, you could do Tulio versus Shara Bullet since MVP just beat him. Beat the brakes off of him. Randy Brown versus Carlo Prates next. I think Brown would get touched up in that one. Whitaker versus the winner of Bo versus RDR? Yes. Yes. 100% yes. Randy Brown is overrated as fuck. Hey, he absolutely destroyed Colby. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I think he's pretty damn good. Can't believe Randy Brown made 170. Dude looks like Rumble. It definitely doesn't look like Rumble, but I get it. Evan Elder versus Tom Nolan. I love that fight. I love that fight. Could you do Nazim? Evan Elder versus Nazim Sadegov again, rematch. But guys, it's a little after 1:35 here. I've been up for a very, very long time. Really appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like the video as well. I also have a bunch of polls right now going in there and a couple of shorts. Check those out. Let me know what you guys think. Nazim is fighting Baku versus Moda, bro. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Correct. But I appreciate you guys. Slap that like button as always. I'll see you at the next one. I'm sorry it stayed longer, but I'm tired. Catch you later.